Hello everyone, this is Shel from Paper Actio Studio, and welcome to my art journal page for the January 2017 Pick-a-Stick Challenge. We are the original Pick-a-Stick Challenge. I know there's some others out there that decided to do it as well, but we have a Facebook group and we'd be happy if you'd come over and join us and play along with the challenges. We started the group in 2016 January, so it's been a year, and this year we have a little twist that you'll see as I go along. You can replace one of the steps with a wild card if you don't like the step. Otherwise, the rules are to follow the steps and follow them in order. That's the only rule. You can add something else in addition if you want to. If something isn't pleasing you, you can certainly add something else. So I do that too. The first step was to add a photo. So I picked this recent photo of some boys being goofy. They made a snowman and they're pretending to be a rap group or something. I don't know. Anyway, strange poses but cute. So I attached that to my page using fluid matte medium. What was I going to say? Oh, this is a different book than I used last year. I did loose leaf pages last year. This year I'm going to finish up this this slightly larger spiral bound journal that I've used for other stuff, and I'm going to be doing my Pick-a-Stick challenge pages and my mission inspiration challenge pages in this book this year. So the next thing that I'm doing is filling up the background with acrylic paint, and the links to the colors of the paints will be below. The reason that I picked these colors is because the house in the background is brick, and so I picked that kind of brick red color, and then right directly behind them are some evergreen type bushes. I don't know what exactly they are, but they smell like pine, but they're bushes. I don't know. Anyway, they're dark green. So I picked those two colors. Then I picked white gesso to blend because, you know, red and green mixed together makes brown, and not a pretty brown, kind of a poopy brown. So I didn't want to mix them together, so I was using the white gesso to just kind of help me blend a little bit. And then I picked the copper metallic because I think it goes really well with these two colors, and I like it. So I'm just using my finger to finger paint in the background. I didn't like all that white space, so I just covered it all up with acrylic paint. So it's kind of fun. It's messy. You know, you get your hands all dirty, but I like to get my hands dirty. And then, of course, I gave that a dry with my heat tool. The next step was to add black marker or pen, and so I'm just drawing a real loose border. You notice I tore I printed out this picture on my printer. It's not an actual photograph, you know, like on photo paper. It's just on regular paper, and I used a kind of antique-y looking filter on it. So then I used water to tear it out in kind of a random shape. So I was accentuating the random shape by using my Posca pen to go around and around and around and around in a scribbly border. Next step is to use a map. So I was looking through some atlas pages that someone sent me, and I couldn't really find exactly what I wanted. I wanted a map of Oregon State, but I don't have one because this picture was taken in Oregon. But didn't have one, so I decided to just to go by color and use a portion of this map that's got the same greens and warm tones in it as the picture and the background somewhat. So I'm just tearing random pieces of it and kind of making a border around the photograph. In this particular page, I'm really focusing on the photograph as the focal image, and I just keep building up around it to make it stand out more as I'm adding more steps. This isn't always what I would do. Generally, I would say I would make a background and then I would decide what my foreground is, but because this is a challenge and you're going through the steps of the challenge, which are randomly picked, you don't necessarily get what you want in order. So since we're starting out with the focal image right off on the first step in this particular set of prompts, you work around it. So that's what I'm doing, is making kind of little clusters of interest on the two corners. Your eye should be drawn from the upper corner to the lower corner in the way that I am making this layout. That's the idea. I used a couple pieces of the kilometer and miles little what do you call that, a legend from the map as well, to do the bottom corner border. That's from the map as well. So once that's dry, then I decide I want to grunge up the background a little bit. The filter that I used on the photo is really, it makes it look vintage and kind of, I don't know, yellowed and grungy. So I decided to use my small brayer and brayer some white gesso over the whole page just to grunge it up a bit, make it a little bit more aged and distressed looking. Then I decided to do a little stamping, and these are just snowflake stamps. These happen to be from Stampin' Up. It's probably a discontinued set, but you can get snowflake stamps anywhere. They're, you know, not something that's hard to find. Or you could probably get these exact ones on eBay. There's always Stampin' Up sets on eBay, I've noticed. So I'm using archival ink to stamp across the page in kind of a diagonal path across the page. And that brings a darker color in, excuse me, to go with the darker blacks in the photo. The next prompt was to write random words, 3 random words. So I'm just doing that with my Posca pen right over the top of the photo. It's no big deal. The next thing was to use something from a different hobby. Back in the day, I used to, when my goddaughter was small, I used to make plastic canvas Barbie furniture, and I made her a bedroom set and a kitchen and all these really fun little Barbie furnitures out of plastic canvas. I don't do it anymore. I also made a bunch of cute Christmas ornaments using plastic canvas. It was a popular thing for a while. So that is just a piece of plastic canvas, and I'm using it as a stamp by just sponging some titanium white paint on there and then turning it over and pressing it down. So that was my using something from a different hobby. Next thing is to add numbers. This is a rub-on sheet. I don't really like rub-on sheets. They're kind of a mess, but since this is a grungy look anyway, I'm going to use it to add some numbers. The whole sheet is just all about different numbers. I'm just not very good with them. They stick where I don't want them to stick, and parts of them don't stick, and yeah. But for this, it worked great. I believe this is a discontinued one from Canvas Core Brand's 7 Gypsies brand. Or actually, they might still have it. I'm not sure, but I know I got it a while ago, so I'm guessing it might be discontinued. They do have some new rub-ons that I tried at Creativation that are way better than these. Way, 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 way better. They don't get all stuck to things like these do. So I think that they've probably perfected the science of making a rub-on. So just sticking those down in a lot of different places randomly, completely randomly. I'm not even sure how I decided. I just threw them on there. It's all good. What's the next thing? Oh yeah, the next step was extend a page, and I didn't feel like it. So what happened? I used the wild card stick to replace the step extend a page. Instead, I decided to make a pocket, and I got a small cellophane bag and cut it kind of at a diagonal and then I'm going to stick it down with what they call tissue tape, which is washi tape, also from Canvas Corp brand 7 Gypsies. It has numbers on it. The tape I picked has numbers on it, so I figured since I had all these other random numbers that having some more random numbers wouldn't hurt anything, and the color of kind of old paper matches the map and the photograph, and so I thought it worked out perfectly. So a lot of times you would see me gluing down washi tape. I was just too lazy. I should have done it because I know it's not going to stay on there, but I didn't. I should have put some matte medium or something. Then just to create continuity, I stick a few of the pieces of the tissue tape in other places on the page. Because you do. This kind has a peel off back, which means it takes an extra step for you to sit there and peel the dumb backing off, which is a little bit annoying. That one piece, I just couldn't decide where I wanted it. I ended up tearing it in half and putting it in 2 places. Solved my problem. Okay, step 9. Oh, I'm adding a little bit more of the black border. Oh, I decided to make a black border all the way around the whole page because just having it around the photo seemed weird. So I thought it added more balance to have the same type of a scribbly border all the way around the outside of the page as well. The next one is to use wood shapes. Luckily, someone sent me wood shapes in either, I think it might have been in the shimmer art thing that I'm doing, the 4-month collaboration I'm doing with Peg, Eva, and Ina. I think one of them might have sent these, but if not, it was in Happy Mail, and yeah, otherwise I wouldn't have had wood shapes. But these were words, and the one that says laugh, which I think is perfect for this page in this picture, because it was intended to be funny, that went perfectly. So I just used some of the new glue that I got from the Beacon samples, which worked great for this, and I stuck it right over the top of the cellophane envelope, and it worked great. You know, where I made the pocket. It worked absolutely perfect. So I like that glue. Have to look into that some more because that glue worked perfectly for that. The next thing was to add tea or coffee. So I made some very strong coffee, and I'm using it to add even more antiquing around the outside edges of the page, the outside edges of the photograph, and around all those different map pieces. And it really works well. It's kind of almost like using something that was really popular back when I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. It was called walnut stain, and it's darker than this, but coffee works the same. It just kind of gives that antique photo look. I guess Distress Inks has an antique photo ink as well that's water soluble. And of course coffee is water soluble too. It doesn't dry permanent. It also smells really good. Especially that's Mexican coffee with a little bit of chocolate in it. So I needed something to stick in the pocket, and so I used a piece of copper metallic cardstock and a sticker that I just got from Cindy Shearer in her Happy Mailbox. This sheet of stickers that had a lot of cute little winter ones, and I picked one that said bundle up. I wish the color of green matched better, but it was fine. By the time you think of all this yellowy antique color, it would add to the green anyway. So that worked fine, and I made a little tag, and I put some jute string, and then I realized that the next step and last step is to add lace. And so I decided to put the lace in as a tie on the tag as well. I really wouldn't have had a place to put lace on this very kind of almost masculine page. But that worked fine to put it as a tie in the tag. So that worked really well. I added a little bit of journaling with my fine tip Posca pen. Um, just a little bit more about the photo. And then I still thought it needed something. I still thought it needed something. And I did go looking for a wood-shaped star, snowflake, which I thought I had. I'm sure somewhere I have a wood cutout snowflake, but to go up in that corner to create balance, but I couldn't find it. So maybe I don't have it. Maybe I used it on something else. I don't know. Anyway, I thought I had one, but couldn't find it. So these white colored backing paper from when I cut out snowflakes for from one of the shimmery papers, I think, in the shimmery project. Oh yeah, it was the canvas I made with the snowman. I cut out a bunch of snowflakes with the shimmery paper, and it was a peel-off backing paper. And these are the peel-off backings, and they've just been laying on the floor because that's where they landed and haven't been cleaned up. But hey, they worked perfect for this. And when I stuck them down with my matte gel, my brush picked up a little bit of the coffee, and it kind of antiqued them and made like a little bit of an antique look. So that worked out perfectly. So that's it for me. Thanks. Bye-bye.